therefore it is our Young International Tellers Night. Now, at the moment, it is a vast improvement on last week that had no one turned up because everyone was doing exams. The whole world was doing exams, or the computers were dying, or some such thing, or there was a. But we do have the magnificent Kenza tonight, so it may be the Kenza show. Someone may join us later. I think Jasname tried to join later last week, but I'd already called it by then. So, but for now, Kenza, do you have about 30 stories for us?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Yes, I think I have a story. So,
Well,
I
please take it away. But to introduce yourself for those people who don't
okay.
know who you are,
Yes.
you are of course our star, but or one of them. But at the moment, you're the star that's shining brightest. So if you introduce yourself and tell the world about yourself, and then regale us with a story.
Okay. So, hi, everyone. My name is Kanza. I'm 15 years old, and in May I have 16. So the next week, I'm here to tell a story because the 2 weeks ago I didn't join the meet. So today I'm here and I'm with two stories about Juha. So if I can, I start. Yes. Okay. So the first story is about Juha and the donkey. So Juha donkey was very lazy and always torturing Juha. So Juha was always thinking about a trick to make the donkey walk faster. By chance, Juha passed by the pepper seller, so his eyes fell on the pepper, and the trick came to his mind immediately. Juha bought a hot pepper and put it under the donkey's tail. The sharpness of the pepper buttered the donkey a lot, and he started running fast. So Juha realized that he would not be able to catch up with the donkey at such a speed. So he had to go to the pepper seller again. The pepper seller then asked him, "Wasn't the pepper enough?" Juha replied, "Sure, I put the pepper under the donkey's tail so that he could walk faster. But now he was running so fast that no matter how much I ran, I could not reach him. So I had to come back you again to buy this time a grain of pepper for me, so that I would not remain short of my donkey." Thank you. So this is the first story. Then I had another story about Juha and the beggar. So Juha one day climbed to the top of the minaret of the mosque to ask the call to prayer. So a beggar called him from under the minaret and said to him, "Come down quickly. I have necessary work with you." So Juha went down the stairs, worried, and was thinking while he has going down, what is necessary and a urgent matter. So when Juha reached the bottom of the stairs, the beggar asked, "What do you want to say?" The beggar so replied, "Nothing. I'm poor. Give me a coin." So Juha was very upset by arrogance of the beggar. So he replied, "You must go upstairs with me." So Juha climbed the stair, followed by the beggar, until they reached the top of the minaret. And then Juha asked the beggar, "What did you want?" The beggar replied, "A black coin." So Juha said to him, "But I don't have the money." So the beggar marveled at Juha and said to him, "Oh man, if you don't have money, why did you make me go up here?" So Juha replied, "Just like you made me go down." Thank you.
John, unmute yourself.
So, how many Juha stories have you got now? It must be at least 20.
Yes, I think.
So, when we publish them,
Yes.
which obviously you haven't done anything yet because of the school, but now in 2 weeks' time, when your holidays, instead of lazing around on the beach and enjoying yourself, and doing such things as 16-year-olds should be doing, you will be the good news is that when it's all finished and when they're ready for publication, if we've got it published by the end of the year, one it'd be great to, people can all buy your book as a Christmas present to give everybody, but also things happen, but Marrakesh next year is going to be the Islamic city of culture. So we don't know what we're doing yet, but we will do something. And we'll also have a book launch of Juha stories in Marrakesh.
Yes. So it's a great idea for the public.
So because I think it's quite important, because those stories have not, the stories that you're telling, as far as I know, just been passed on. They haven't been written down, or most of them. I mean, some of them have been written down, but a lot of them haven't been written down. So you'll be adding to the universal knowledge and adding to the pot. And I mean, Norman actually hasn't got room in his establishment for one more book, but what he'll do, he'll move something aside and make room for yours. So how many books have you got, Norman, in the Paul Winch Library?
Last rough count, and that was 10 years ago, was 6,000.
Well, it's going to have to be 6,001, I'm afraid.
Okay, 1,001, that works. It's an honored and venerable number.
I think it's we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to publishing it.
Oh, which book is this? I missed that part.
It's of no consequence, Norman. You wouldn't be interested. It's a book. You know very well that Kenza for the last few months has been telling Juha stories, and none of them, they're ones that have just been passed from a grandmother to a mother to her.
Oh.
And they've never been written down before. So over the summer, instead of enjoying herself like 16-year-old young ladies should, she's in fact writing this book that we will publish from the World Storytelling Cafe of Juha stories.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
The world storytelling, well, the cafe itself or whatever has an original story to its credit. It was created by Zohar, one of the staff members at the Spice, I think. It's called The Compassionate Camel, and so someday I hope, I think it was being included, I hope, in a list of stories to be put out by the festival.
I think Lucy is still working on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But this will be an original, I think, an original from one of our young tellers would be amazing. And I think it's amazing, you know, I mean, I just happen to be in love with Juha stories. So I
Right.
think that I think to have more added to the pot from one of our young tellers is a bit
Oh.
special.
Oh yeah, you can't have too many of, and this is not a joke. You can't have too many of those stories. Some of them actually made their way by what route to the Ottawa Valley, where I heard. Well, it would have been called a Nazardine story, but it become quite secular by then. And later on, I recognized this story I heard in a playground had come from the Nazardine Juha tradition. It was how did that story travel thousands of miles to a schoolyard in the frozen Ottawa Valley? I don't know.
Because Kenza had visited that she had told a story in her school that told and that person went to Russia actually and told the story in a playground there. And then that person in the playground in Russia went to Mexico, and that was told in a story in the playground there. And then it went up and then it went to the United States. It was told in the playground there, and that person told it in a playground in Ottawa. And
then it went to a playground in Petawawa. So
absolutely. So it's fairly obvious where it came from. There are trade routes and there are story routes.
There are, and
you'll have to excuse us, Ken. So we're just waiting for other people to come in. There's a
yeah.
Georgia and Lisa are sitting quietly, thinking, "What are the beards going on about?"
Yeah, but I am truly amazed by how stories travel. One of them was the parrot story, where the parrot is in a cage, and but the master won't let it loose, and the bird says, "Well, go to my home forest and tell them I'm in the cage, and then I will at least get news from my friends, my family." And so the fellow does that, but when he speaks to the first bird he sees in the forest, the bird falls out of the tree dead, lies on the ground flat, doesn't move. The man goes back to the bird, says, "I'm sorry, it was terrible news. I didn't realize. But as soon as I said you were in a cage, the bird fell out of the tree and landed on the ground dead. And as soon as his beautiful favorite bird heard this, it fell in the bottom of the cage, dead." The man was lamenting, opens up the door and reaches in, pulls the bird, weeps over the bird, and as soon as he goes past an open window, kaboom, the bird spreads its wings and flies out. And he says, "Thank you for giving me the message I needed to get out of that cage." And that was a story I heard as a kid. But and I think there is a truly international network of kids.
Yes. So I will allow that, Norman. I'm not going to slap your wrist for being a beard telling a story.
Right, I understood. Because this is among the children.
But but because it was passed to you in as a child, we will let, and you've brought it in conversationally.
But I will feel the slight tap though, and I will pay better attention later on.
So a couple of people have joined us. Just a sec. Nina has joined us. We've got. Hold on. There we are. Everyone's back. Hello, Nina.
Hi, John.
Kenza.
How are you doing?
We have Kenza, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Now this is Nina, who has just joined us, who runs the World Storytelling Championships with for Ace Novation. and or one of the two moving forces behind it. So, Kenza, I hate to do this, but it's just because I want Nina to hear you. Have you got another story you can tell us?
I'm researching at the moment because I saw it's annoying to speak, so I search if I have another story. 1 minute, please, because
Nina, Kenza
Yes.
has already told 2 stories today,
Oh,
so I'm putting her on
lovely.
the spot. She'll be back.
I'm
She
so
will be
sorry,
back.
Kenza.
No,
it's
we
not
want.
a problem.
I'm glad you joined us, Nina.
Your mate is also joining. We've been wanting to join every week, but then we just, 10:30 we go, oh my God, 9:30 we'll join the World Storytelling Cafe.
Yes.
Today we made
Well,
it a
hopefully, maybe we'll get a girl on from Punjab as well. But she's got exams at the moment. As you know, in India, there's lots of exams going on in schools. So, Kenza is back sideways. Right, Kenza, would you care
Yeah.
to tell us a story?
Yes, I'm research a story that I have, I think, for the next week. 1 minute.
Well, you're just going to be a week ahead of yourself. You're going to have to do 2 more next week. This is another one from your grandmother.
This is I know. I think this is it's. I'm sorry for the waiting, but
Don't apologize. I put you on the spot, so you're allowed to. If you're lucky, Jasnama will turn up and give you some support. Jasname. I'm always pronouncing things wrong. If you how are we doing? Poor Kenza.
yes.
You okay?
Yes, I said. Okay.
What
I have a story, so 1 minute and I.
Oh, well, actually, it's quite good that it took this long because Major, who is the other person from Race Innovation, is joining us as well. So that's brilliant. Major, we only have one young teller on today, but she is brilliant. And it's Kenza from Italy, but she's been telling stories that were handed to her by her Moroccan grandmother. And we're going to produce a book of these stories. And but Kenza's already told 2 stories today. Because you 2 are here, in your honor, she's telling.
So
Thank you.
She's just getting herself together. I put her on the spot.
So
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you
Well,
want-
when you're ready, Kenza.
Thank you, John.
Okay, I'm here. So this story is from my grandmother, and this story is for the next week. But I transferred this story to this is Tuesday. So this story is about Juha and the shoes. So Juha received an invitation to a friend's house for lunch. And when he entered the house, he saw the guests' shoes mixed with each other. And if he put his new shoes between these shoes, it could have been replaced by mistake. So he took it for a while, then wrapped his shoes in a handkerchief and tied it around his waist, sat down at the table, and started eating with the others. So the person sitting next to Juha noticed that Juha had tied something around his waist. So Juha asked, "Excuse me, what is this thing you are wearing around your waist?" So Juha replied, "It is a book." So the man asked him again, "What is this book? And what is its content?" So Juha replied, "He's talking about precaution." The man said, "This is beautiful. And who wrote the book?" So Juha replied, "A shoemaker." Thank you.
John, you're muted.
That's a new person telling me off for being muted. Thank you, Nina. Right. There's you've carried the whole show tonight. Now I'm going to go round and ask everyone to praise you, basically, because or say something about you. And maybe in that time, in that next 4 minutes, then someone, maybe another young teller will join us. You can never tell. So, Georgia, you've been here all the time. Would you care to make a comment about Lisa?
Of course. I would like to tell you, dear, that I admire you, because being so young and wanting to tell stories is more than wonderful. It's so special. It's kind of, I'm kind of jealous, because here in Greece, that I come from, people at your age don't tell stories. And I think that looking for stories and then have all this excitement how to tell them, it's a wonderful thing to happen to a young person. Congratulations. Don't ever leave this art. Whatever you do in your life, don't ever leave storytelling. You are wonderful and so sweet.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank
And
you.
Norm-
I'm very happy for listening. This is beautiful compliment. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I promise.
Come here and tell some stories.
Well, it's only across the water, isn't it? You could row across to Greece, couldn't you? Go on a little ride. Nina,
Yeah.
first time you've heard her.
Yeah, I just love your smile and that dimple. And other than those, that I also, you were wonderful, because John put you on the spot and you didn't flinch an eye. You just came back and you told such a wonderful story, small but beautiful story. And you did it so very well. And it was wonderful listening to you. And I invite you to take part in the World Storytelling Championship. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you'd win the crown. So do take part.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Lisa,
I've listened to so many stories now that I feel like I know the Johan character, but he always surprises me. And at the hot pepper, I was so sure he was, I need pepper that's not so hot. And instead, pepper for himself. And I just thought that's one of the funniest ones you've ever told. So for that, and I hope you keep telling, even after you publish your book, just keep telling, because you're enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
Thank you.
Well, I'm coming to the men later, Major and Norman, if you'll stay with us, because I note that we have just been joined by, all the way from Punjab, the amazing Princess Jasname.
Welcome, welcome.
It's good to see you back. Have you got a story for us, Jasname?
Yes, I do.
Please tell it.
Hello everyone, my name is Jasname and I'm from India, Punjab. Today I'll be narrating a Hoja story named Who Pays the Piper Plays the Tune. While Nasruddin Hoja was busy with his work, one day he decided to visit his market. He wanted to buy some ingredients from the market. The children in the neighborhood asked Hoja to bring whistles for them. Hoja told them all right, one by one, tell me, I'll bring them for you. One of them said, here is my money, here you go. So please bring a whistle for me. The children waited and waited for Hoja. It was evening, but there were no signs of Hoja returning. They still waited outside his house. And finally, Hoja came. They surrounded him at the edge of the village and shouted, where is my whistle? Where is my whistle? All the children asked. But they could only see a single whistle in Hoja's hands. And they asked again, dear Hoja, where are our orders? However, there was only one whistle in his hand. Nasruddin Hoja passed that whistle to the child who gave money, and rest of them watched his face because he did not get for them. And later those children asked, where are our whistles? We also ordered them. And Hoja laughed and said, he who pays the piper plays the tune. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasname. Hold on, I'll unmute myself. No, there we are. Jasname, it's great to have you back. Now, do you have, because you've been away for a few weeks, how are your exams going, by the way?
They're going good.
Excellent. And have you got a second story for us? Because Paul Kenza had to do, in the end, had to do 3 stories because to keep us going, which she did 2 that she'd prepared, and then I put her on the spot, and she instantly produced a 3rd story. So have you got a second story for us, Jasname?
Yes, I do.
I knew you would. Please tell it.
So I have another Hoja story which says, let your goat in. Someone mentioned the smallness of the Hoja's house and asked him to find a solution. The house was so small that it was causing problems. After listening to the man, Hoja said to him, now go and let your goat into your house. The next day, the man walked up to Hoja and again said, oh Hoja, instead of decreasing, my trouble has increased even more when I let the goat in my house. Hoja listened to that man again and said, I need a solution. And that man said, now go home and this time let all the hens in your house. He said. Hoja walked up. He went and let all the hens inside his house. The next day, the man walked up to Hoja again, continued to complain. Oh, Hoja, my trouble has increased. Can't you see that now my house has goats as well as hens? It is more difficult for me to live. Hoja said quiet bloodedly, go and let your cow inside your house. That man was thinking Hoja is mad. Instead of increasing my space, he is decreasing my space. But then he listened to him and went. He went and got the cow inside his house. The next day, the man walked up to Hoja again. Oh, Hoja, I have had enough, he said. Hoja responded in a calm manner. Get the goat out of your house tonight. And so did that man. He rushed to his house and at night he took that goat outside and he was relieved. The next day, the man walked up to Hoja and said that they are a little bit untroubled, but still the hens are making noise and the cow is mooing all day. And then Hoja said, don't worry, I'll find a solution. Go and get those house hens out of your house at night today. The man came again after taking those hens outside. The man came and said, less trouble. Hoja went on giving him another advice. Now go home and get that cow out of your house again. The man did what he was told and he became even less troubled. The next day, he visited Hoja again and thanked him for giving him more space in his house. Thank you.
Wonderful, just now. Right now, I'm gonna let Major talk and Norman, but Major first. About both Kenza and Jasnami. If you can say a few words, Major.
Definitely, John. I'm so glad to join you all today. It's 12:30 a.m. here. It's fun, you know. I'm so glad it's just in time. I came to listen. What's the name? Omar, is it?
No, that's Kenza.
That's Kenza. Kenza was wonderful, Kenza. I think you're starting storytelling, or it's something new that you've started, or you're writing books.
Okay.
Kenza?
I start storytelling this year, so it's not that far. And then I have a teacher that his name is Manuela Calicalzini, and then he said me to started writing my old story and then collect it in a unique book, and then started to selling. And then every day when I have a story and then I send her a story, and then it's collect to me every story. So I start in this way, and I wish I continue in this beautiful meeting every Tuesday.
That was really wonderful, you know. We're so glad you chose this path. You know, we can see the passion in you with your beautiful smile. And this is a wonderful profession.
Thank you.
Joy, we'd like to hear more from you. Tell more stories. Thank you.
And Jasnami, who's not been with us for a few weeks, but is back.
Yes. Jasnami?
Please carry on, Major. Yeah.
You know, her stories are so nice for bedtime. Children will love to hear these stories. And she's a great storyteller. Such a young age. So do join us for the World Storytelling Championship. We'd like to hear more. Thank you.
So Norman.
Yes.
I'm going to eventually let you speak.
Oh, that's all right. It's good to listen. Just to practice it every now and then is a good idea for me. Kenza, I like the fact that you were okay. I didn't hear the stories, but you were able to bring them out. You had them. Took, I'm sure, a little effort to remember. Okay, what's the right story to tell, and then you did that. So that was the mark of a storyteller who knows what they're how they're shaping. And Jasmine, you're again your stories, picking them up and delivering them to the world now. And so you're setting them afloat, and you're doing. I like the clarity of your presentation. So that is, they're all short stories. I know that, but I'm looking forward to hearing from both of you more of these stories. And yes, there's room for one more book in the Four Winds. There's always room.
Nina, would you care to
Yes.
say something to Jasname?
Yes, Jasna. Jasna, you
Jasmine.
made me feel so proud because you said Punjab, India, and an Indian little kid telling such a lovely story, 2 stories and amazing stories of Hoja. It really makes me proud, and you were so wonderful. Your expressions and the way you told the story was really, really lovely. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to hear you.
Thank you.
Yes,
And
yes.
Georgia.
Well, I've never thought I would meet such a young storyteller. Very expressive. Congratulations. It was like the Hoja stories were your own stories, which is the best. How to say that? It's a characteristic of a good storyteller. It's like your own stories. Congratulations, darling. Never stop storytelling.
I don't think anyone could stop either of them storytelling ever. Lisa, do you want to
No, I
wrap it up
can't.
with the last few words?
Say that I've also been impressed with both these stories. They're just so professional, I think, for the way
Yeah.
they carry
Yeah,
themselves.
I think the tradition is safe.
Yes.
So what have we got? But first of all, thank you both for entertaining us all evening, and thank you, Norman, for bringing your childhood to us, and there's to cover the stopgap, and thank you, Georgia, Major, Nina, Lisa, for coming on to support our tellers, because it's really important to them that we get an international audience. I know there's people that aren't coming online, but the live audience, which is fantastic. What have we got coming up on this cafe? Friday, we've got Deb at 6 o'clock UK time, which is about the middle of the night in India, so I'll forgive you if you don't come. There's Deborah Weller from the States. I think she's Florida, isn't she, Norman?
Yes, I do believe she is.
Yeah, so Deborah Weller is telling stories for children, 6 o'clock UK and Irish time, British summertime. And then next Tuesday, we return. Are you going to be both with us next Tuesday? Fantastic. And hopefully Nigeria will join us again. They haven't been for a few weeks. And if we get really lucky, Gaza as well. So, and but it's been wonderful to you both managed to carry the show. Either of you individually have done solo shows for us when no one else has come. So a big can we have a final round of applause for our young tellers?
Yes.
And Waleed, thank you for flying the magic carpet.
Okay.